One of the largest burn pits in Iraq was located at Balad Air Base. This is where I was stationed in 2006 and 2007. Balad is located 40 miles north of Baghdad. Balad is 25 square kilometers in size. The burn pit was 10 acres. On average, 147 tons of garbage was burned per day. Sometimes as much as 200 tons was burned a day. The pits burned at all hours of the day. 25,000 U.S. soldiers were stationed on base, breathing in the toxic fumes from the burn pit. Other soldiers were constantly passing through the base. Balad was also the largest aerial port for U.S. military operations in Iraq. The moment I arrived on base, I smelled the acrid smoke from the pit. I primarily worked at a vehicle search area located on the perimeter, right next to the burn pit. At night, it glowed a vibrant red. It lit up the entire area around it. I did not like moving in this area at night because it was too easy for an enemy sniper to see us due to the glow of the burn pit. There was no escaping the smoke. You could taste the smoke when you ate. When sleeping, the smoke billowed into your room. The housing area, known as H6, was located here. You can see how close the burn pit is to it. This photograph was taken from H6. Within days, I developed a severe respiratory infection. The infection stayed with me the entire duration of my tour. I sought medical treatment numerous times, and I demanded they record in my medical records how close I worked to the burn pit. Truthfully, there was nothing the doctors could do. They did not have the authority to shut down the burn pit, and there was no way they could prevent the smoke from entering everyone's lungs. Of course, the doctors themselves were breathing in the same smoke I was. On the 20th of December 2006, Lieutenant Colonel Darren L. Curtis released a memorandum titled Burn Pit Health Hazards. The memo went to base leadership and to CENTAF. Per his testimony at the Senate Democratic Policy Committee on November 6, 2009, he wrote the memo because, despite the massive health hazard the burn pit represented to U.S. soldiers, there was absolutely no sense of urgency to replace the burn pit with a much safer incinerator. Colonel Curtis was told there was contracting and money problems with the incinerator project. Shortly after his arrival at Balad, an inspector from the U.S. Army Center for Health Promotion and Preventative Medicine told him this was the worst environmental site he had ever seen. Colonel Curtis observed that the smoke plume from the burn pit acted in unexpected ways. The plume would rise, then crash down to the ground more than a mile away. Due to the dynamic nature of the smoke, it was nearly impossible to get a sample of the burn pit smoke to analyze. Of course, DoD used the smokeless samples from their CHPPM health risk assessment published in May of 2008. Unsurprisingly, the report stated that adverse health risks are unlikely. As the colonel stated, it was nearly impossible to get an accurate sample from the smoke plume. Also, what was in the plume would depend on what was being burned at the moment. This could include a wide variety of items from batteries to amputated body parts. Thus, even if the test was successful, it would only be accurate for that one moment in time. It would not give you a conclusive idea of the contaminants thousands of soldiers were inhaling daily for months or years on end. This bogus report was also the foundation for DoD's position that long-term health effects are not expected to occur from breathing the smoke. This is asinine. In certain states in America, it is illegal for you to smoke a cigarette in a bar due to secondhand smoke, but poisoning soldiers for years on end by burning plastic, chemicals, explosives, chemically treated uniforms, and a giant unregulated burn pit, that's all completely fine and safe according to this idiotic report. You do not have to be a scientist to figure out we're being lied to here. Does this look safe to you? My goal is to do one of these videos every week until the government finally does the right thing. Veterans are still getting sick and they're still dying, and the US government is still doing nothing. So please, everybody watching this video, share this with everybody you can. That's the only way we can force the government to do the right thing. And I have a message for Mr. Trump. Mr. President, one of your main campaign promises was that you would help us. Well, we need it now, not later. I know you got a million other things going on right now, but we've waited over a decade. If this keeps up much longer, there might not be any of us left. So please, Mr. President, we need action now.
Please subscribe to our channel, PH News. Our motto is fact-based media.